Hello and welcome to EWTN Nationwide, a series where we feature upcoming dates of significance on the Catholic calendar here in Ireland and beyond. In this programme, I'll be speaking with Father Maurice, who is based in Cork but is one of the principal organisers of the Ignite Conference this coming Saturday, the 23rd of May. Father Maurice, you're very welcome to the studio.
Thanks, Dave. Good to be here.
Tell us what's happening on Saturday, the 23rd of May at the Ignite Conference.
Yeah, Aidan. So we're calling the conference Ignite Ireland Conference. It will start at 9 a.m. and it'll finish up at 7 p.m. And the principal speaker will be Dr. Scott Hahn. A lot of your viewers will be, Dr. Hahn will be well known to them, a regular on EWTN in the past at least, and obviously a prolific writer and a professor in Steubenville in America. So we expect a lot of people will be attracted in particular to the fact that Scott Hahn is coming back to Ireland after such a long hiatus.
Indeed, and the title of the conference, as I understand it, Embers into Flames. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I suppose we're in Ireland at the moment. We're in a bit of a watershed moment, a transition as such. Transition in the sense of moving from, what would you call it? I won't say an old church, but the traditional church in Ireland has changed dramatically. So that's the transition, I suppose, for the church in Ireland, is moving from that old model to something new. And I suppose the watershed is that we're definitely noticing a turn for the positive within Ireland, within the around the churches and that, especially with the millennials, those between the ages of 16 and 29, there seems to be a noticeable, not a major, but a noticeable return to the faith. So Embers into Flames really is about that. It's trying to tap into those embers that are there, people of faith, people who are have a relationship with the Lord, and trying to burst that out into flames. In other words, trying to encourage people to bring the message, the gospel message of Christ to others, because as I said, we're in that transitional period. We've come from a place where over 90% of people were going to Sunday Mass to now in Dublin, it's under 10% of people going to Sunday Mass. And so it's important now for the people that are left who have faith to try and encourage them and equip them to bring that faith to others.
Yes, it's interesting you should say that. I was listening to Maura Murphy's invitation. She is one of the helpers, one of the speakers at the conference, and she said, be inspired and be equipped for the mission in order to tell your friends or family or community about Christ. Can you tell us a little more about that and how that's built into the day through the adoration, the rosary, the talks, and essentially the theme itself?
Yeah, that's
Maura, is part of the organisational committee, and what Maura is speaking to there is the fact that we do need to be equipped in Ireland, and there's plenty of resources there, and there's plenty of experience in other countries where there wasn't a majority of people practicing the faith. Like, for instance, in England and in America, the majorities aren't Catholic. And so they've had to develop programs and ways of apostolates to reach out to people. So that is really, I suppose, what the equipping is that now we're in this transitional and indeed, as I said, watershed moment. We need to be looking at those resources and adapting them to the Irish climate, and using those resources to bring the gospel to others, to equip ourselves to be able to more effectively bring the gospel to others. So the day itself will be very much themed on that. Dr. Scott Hahn will speak very much around evangelization, and others as well, like Maura will be speaking about a personal relationship with the Lord. And we'll be leading to a challenge. There will be a challenge at the conference for the participants, a challenge in bringing the gospel to others, where the challenge is around testimony, encouraging people over a 75-day period to bring their testimony, not to strangers, but to those within their social circles.
And that's so encouraging. And one of the reasons I was so excited about that theme that Mara had spoken so much confidently about, this aspect of being equipped, is many parishes that we work with and we're familiar with, they are in a position of, I suppose, they seem not equipped and not that they're informed as regards, I suppose, how they'd like to help young people and help the church grow. But as I understand it, this conference helps equip people, parishes, communities to be more informed as to a strategy of getting young people, getting their communities, getting their parishes more enlivened. Is that correct?
Very much so, Aidan. And the beauty of this conference is there's going to be up to 25 tables with 25 different groups, including the EWTN. So groups that are already involved in evangelization, groups that are already involved in bringing the gospel message to others. So EWTN will be there among other groups that are going out there on the airwaves and through the internet to bring the gospel to others. And there'll be other groups there like Catholic Christian Outreach, Alpha, and other groups that are equipping parishes and equipping groups of Catholics to do exactly that, to evangelize.
Father Maurice, what would you say to individuals, parishes or communities that are maybe teetering on the edge of, yeah, I was thinking you were going to that, but I'm not too sure, is it going to be any use? And of course, you and I know it is, but what would you say to them to get them over the edge, over the line, and trying to make that decision to help themselves, help their communities, help their families?
Yeah, I think, we have an organizational committee of about 15 members, and we're so excited about the conference. And I think that, normally most of our experiences of meetings is that we leave them sometimes a little bit deflated, or indeed our energy is sapped. But these organizational meetings for the conference, we've all left them with a life and a joy, because we can see what potential fruit can come from a conference like this. So it really requires participants to be there for that fruit to be realized. And thank God there's hundreds of people have already signed up. Some of the sections are already booked out. So there is people responding, which is fantastic. And over the next few days, we expect those numbers to increase. But the more the merrier, Aidan. And I would just encourage people to come, because they will leave the conference centre hope-filled, full of courage, and equipped to a point to bring the gospel to others.
Marvellous. And where do people go? Do you want to give a shout out to the website where they book their place?
Thanks, Aidan. Yes. So for anybody wishes to book their place, to just go to our website, Dominicans.ie. So www.dominicans.ie. Yes,
and I know we would share this wonderful news, this wonderful Ignite conference with our other EWTN offices throughout the world, and subsequently many people will become familiar with it, please God. So is there anything that you'd like those listeners or those watchers to do if they can't be there? Like offer a decade of the Rosary for its success, it's for these embers to become flames?
Yeah, absolutely. Prayer is so important. So just encourage, there's a novena going on for the 9 days leading up to the conference. So if people could tap into that to pray to the Holy Spirit, maybe a triduum, maybe 3 days of prayer to the Holy Spirit, to pray for this conference, that there will be the fruit, that the potential fruit there will be realized.
And it's also very much blessed, as I understand, with the attendance of Bishop Fintan Gavin and Archbishop Dermot Farrell. So it's wonderful to have them attending. They're participating in what respect?
Yeah, we're so blessed. I mean, this is very much an ecclesial event, a church event. Although the Dominicans are very much a part of it, it's really like looking at the whole church in Ireland. And so Archbishop Dermot Farrell is going to lead us in evening prayer, and Bishop Fintan Gavin, who is in the Bishops' Conference, his role is to look after evangelization in Ireland. So Bishop Fintan will be celebrating the Mass and preaching at the Mass at the conference. So we're very blessed to have both of them present. Yeah.
That's marvellous, Father Maurice, and I wish you every good wish with it, and the prayers of us folks here at EWTN. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Aidan.
That's it for this episode of EWTN Nationwide. Please join us again, where we will feature events of significance in the upcoming calendar, Catholic calendar here in Ireland and beyond.